Caribbean community CARICOM leaders have completed a successful, productive and decisive conference of heads of government in Montego Bay, Jamaica. The conference, which ran from July 4 to 6, was held under the theme Building Stronger, Resilient and Secure Partnerships for Prosperity. Chairman of CARICOM and Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Right Honorable Andrew Holness, noted that the conference delivered on the long-awaited promises to the citizens of the community.
The implementation of the Caribbean Single Market and Economy, CSME, was a primary focus of the 39th Conference of CARICOM Heads of Government. Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley, at the opening of the meeting, reminded the region's leaders that time is running out for the community to foster the genuine buy-in of its people.
To do so, we have first to recognize that in 2018, we have a constituency of integrationists by intuition and belief. A generation of educated, worldly wise, confident Caribbean citizens who learn, live, and love together, trade, work, and play together, share in each other's joys and cry at each other's tragedies. No boundaries exist in the minds of our young people.
Barbados has the lead responsibility for CSME in CARICOM's quasi-cabinet. In her inaugural address to the conference, Prime Minister Mottley cautioned regional leaders that the people will not forgive them if they continue to procrastinate or lack courage to develop a true regional consciousness. CARICOM remains challenged in realizing aspects of the single market.
We do not accept that we should abandon all notions of the single market and the single economy. While we accept that there are practical realities that would preclude harmonious convergence with macroeconomic policies and fiscal policies, we do believe that there is significant room still for us to get with respect to aspects of our economic competitiveness, whether it is in terms of electronic commerce, capital markets integration, food security, or other areas that will simply make us more competitive with respect to our productive capabilities than we currently are.
The hosting of the Conference of Heads of Government in Jamaica is especially significant given CARICOM turns 45. It was on July 4, 1973 that 4 CARICOM Heads of Government affixed their signatures to the Treaty of Chaguaramas. Chairman and Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness, in declaring the conference open, noted the community must reflect on experiences of regional integration over the years.
It is only appropriate for us, therefore, to pause and reflect on the many experiences along the road of regional integration. Our journey over the years has seen many significant achievements, of which we can all be justly proud. The survival of any institution, however, depends on its willingness to introspect and engage in a process of renewal. Indeed, this 45-year milestone represents an opportune time to evaluate our institutions. As we look towards the commemoration of our 50th anniversary, we owe it to the people of the region to deliver on commitments made to an effective process of regional integration that will improve the quality of their lives.
CARICOM heads of government spent a significant portion of the 39th conference discussing the Caribbean Single Market and Economy, CSME. For the first time in a long time, leaders were able to establish tangible resolutions moving closer to the implementation of the CSME.
The CSME was established with the goal to stimulate economic growth and enhance international competitiveness through the utilization of the region's human and other resources. In 2006, the single market came into effect. This allowed for the free movement of skills and labour, goods and services, capital, and the right to establishment. Guyana is one of 12 CARICOM countries that are participating in the single market aspect of the CSME. Unfortunately, the community has been unable to activate the single economy. For the first time in as many years, CARICOM leaders have come up with tangible solutions aimed at implementing a full CSME. At the close of the 39th Conference of Heads of Government, CARICOM leaders effectively set a series of timelines in the form of dates and meetings to address elements of the CSME. Leaders will convene in Barbados in November for a special meeting to deal specifically with the CSME, Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley, noted.
The reason for the heads in November is that there is a legitimate issue as we move forward on the broader framework that the LDCs have, the OECS countries in particular, with respect to how they are treated with respect to Chapter 7 of the treaty. And there are deeper considerations that we need to discuss that can't be discussed if we haven't other items on the agenda. So the Prime Minister of Trinidad, for the last 2 years, I think, has asked that there be a single meeting, single agenda meeting on the CSME. That's what November is about. There are also good, very good recommendations from the Golden Commission with respect to governance, with respect to dispute resolution, whether persons should have to go to the CCJ, which is a heavy cost, or whether there ought to be some intermediate dispute resolution body that is more effective and efficient, whether there are other aspects of how we change how we do business in it. We can't do this while doing 10 other agenda items at a heads meeting. So far from kicking the can down the road, we've created a special place and a special space in November to deal with some of the larger issues that hopefully will inform our work for the next decade.
One of the most significant resolutions at this meeting is the signing of Contingent Rights Protocol by Jamaica, St. Lucia, Grenada, Suriname, Barbados, and Haiti.
For this protocol to have been signed today is the most significant event in the history of Caribbean affairs since the single market was signed here in Jamaica and came into effect here in Jamaica in 2006.
The Contingent Right Protocol is seen as a major step that should encourage greater use of the free movement regime, as it ensures greater level of comfort and peace of mind for families.
We promised our peoples free movement, and this conference has recommitted to the free movement of skills and has agreed that all states by the 31st of December 2018 would have put in place the necessary legislative framework to facilitate all 10 approved categories of skills.
Chairman of CARICOM and Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness, argues that this sitting of heads of government is more than just kicking the can down the road. The heads of government also made a tangible decision to advance the single economy aspect of the CSME. Prime Minister Holness.
These include an investment policy, an investment code, an incentives regime, an integrated capital market, and securities legislation. As leaders, we expect that these matters will be ready for full adoption at the 40th meeting of the conference in July 2019.
The Prime Ministerial Subcommittee on the CSME will be meeting quarterly beginning in September in Barbados to give urgency to the implementation process.
I believe that we have made good progress in our deliberations over the last 2 days. I'm confident that the citizens of the region will be pleased with the outcome of this conference, and we will continue to deliver on our promises to them.
Other conclusive decisions made at the 39th Conference of CARICOM Heads of Government meeting included the unanimous adoption of procedures on the refusal of entry, which will be applied at the border.
These procedures, which all members must have in place no later than the 1st of August 2018, will guide border officials on how they should treat nationals who are refused entry.
This decision is intended to safeguard the rights of all community nationals moving across the region. In relation to building resilience, member states were urged to promote and maintain the regional response mechanism coordinated by the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency and encourage the international community to align its support with this mechanism, including early recovery. On the matter of security, regional security agencies were mandated to work closely with national security heads to address the various challenges, emphasizing the need to strengthen the network of security heads in the region to promote further information and intelligence sharing. CARICOM heads of government also recognized the need to reclassify marijuana following a presentation made by the Commission on Marijuana. However, Prime Minister Holness noted moving forward rests with individual member states.
We therefore agreed that action is necessary at the national level by the relevant authorities to review the current status of marijuana as a Schedule I drug with a view to reclassification. We also agreed that each member state, in accordance with its own circumstances, would determine its own pathway to pursue the law reforms necessary as proposed by the Regional Marijuana Commission.
Guyana was represented at the 39th CARICOM Heads meeting by President David Granger, Minister of Foreign Affairs Carl Greenidge, and a team from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. On the sidelines, the President reinforced and strengthened the country's relations with a number of its sister states, as well as its South American neighbor, Chile.
President David Granger met with Prime Minister of Jamaica to strengthen relations between the two countries.
There is a Guyana-Jamaica Joint Commission. Unfortunately, it has not been functioning, and we've agreed that that Joint Commission will be reactivated, and it will form the platform for the 3 areas of cooperation that we discussed.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Carl Greenidge noted that Jamaica is looking to Guyana to expand its markets given the growth of Guyana's natural resources sector.
Guyana can serve as that motivating the fuel for the expansion of the regional markets. And one is looking to see how the countries such as Jamaica, and Jamaica is looking to see how their skills could be brought to bear, the financial resources they have, the financial experience and skills they have, the management experience and skills they have, and how the framework provided by Guyana could be used to the advantage of Jamaica for the benefit of the people of the region. They spoke about tourism, they spoke about services, and the like. And the countries are to move quickly in respect of a mechanism they'd set up since 1997, a joint commission. Well, in fact, we use joint commissions with most of our partners as a platform for bringing the groupings together, government and private sector, Jamaica and Guyana.
President Granger also met with the Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley, on the sidelines of the CARICOM conference.
The President would have recalled that Barbados has always been a strong supporter for Guyana's territorial integrity. Guyana is our sister, and we believe that the deep family relations between our two countries are worth not just preserving, but building upon for a modern relationship that benefits all of our people. And therefore we discussed a range of matters, both economic, social, cultural, environmental, and I trust and pray that it will be to the benefit of our various populations.
The head of state held discussions with Surinamese president to set the agenda for an upcoming state visit.
We are just reviewing the changing situation in the Caribbean and also on the continent of South America.
Guyana also had bilateral talks with Chile. Guyana and the Caribbean on the whole has been strengthening relations with the South American country.
We have been working on areas of cooperation such as the teaching of languages. Chilean professors have come down to Georgetown and have been working with the Foreign Service Institute to enhance the language capacity, Spanish, of public servants, including officers within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We had also discussed trying to take advantage of Chile's long experience in the mining area, mining regulations, as well as some technical aspects of mining. And following the two presidents' discussions and visits, the authorities in Chile sent down some experts to work with and plan the work program with Ministry of Natural Resources.
The presidents of Chile and Guyana signed agreements for enhanced cooperation in the areas of energy and natural resources.
Chile has as well even capacity in the area of petroleum. We also have signed an agreement for collaborating in and establishing a mechanism for the teaching of Spanish in Guyana. And that is the two agreements, one in relation to languages, the second in relation to energy and related matters.
As the high-level regional conference wrapped up, President David Granger and team had strengthened ties with sister states and engaged with new allies in bilateral agreements that would see Guyana's economy developing further. This brings us to the end of another edition of InfoHub Extended. Do join us again next time.